That was embarrassing. That was pathetic. That was pathetic. The first half was amazing. The second half was non-existent. And as I just said on BBC Radio Sheffield Live tonight, some of those players need their contracts ripping up. As soon as Bogle and Gardner came off, you noticed the difference. You noticed the change. You could sense Morecambe were going to get involved. And the second half was all Morecambe Football Club. Well done to Morecambe. Well done to Morecambe. You fought with passion. You fought with bottle. You fought with fight. You fought with desire. What did we do in the second half? We fell apart. We absolutely fell apart today. Absolutely 100% fell apart. You could sense it was coming. 3-0 up, and we lose bloody 4-3 in Gary McSheffrey's first match as well. And this is not on Gary McSheffrey. And the reason why it is not on Gary McSheffrey is because he was forced to put on those players. He couldn't put people out of position. He had to bring those players on. He had to. Chaker may be forced a little bit, not as much as the others, but Gardner was hobbling a little bit at times. Barlow was injured. Bogle was injured. And who'd he bring on? Who's he forced to bring on? Players that are just not good enough. Not good enough. Not good enough. Thiago Chaker, nice lad. Spoke to him a couple of times. But for me, for his development, send him back to Watford. Joe Dadu, a wonderful human being. But his Doncaster Rovers contract, rip it up. Not good enough. Not good enough. Joe Dadu will do really well at a different club. Just for the sake of his football career, send him somewhere else. Someone come in and send him somewhere else. Send him somewhere else. And the board, I know you can back this manager. Back your talk. Because if you don't in January, I'm going to be angry. 18 Dapper's going to be angry. Everyone's going to be angry. And if we don't have a great January window, who's on the board side left? Who's left to be on the board side? Because if we don't have a good window, I'll struggle to be on the board side. Even me. People have been saying in the summer I'm up the board's arse every week. But if we don't have a great window and we go down to League Two, I might change sides. I might end up changing sides. You think I'm joking? Wait till summer if we get relegated. Wait till summer. You just couldn't believe it. What is going on? Can I share my thoughts? Yeah. StreamYard link. Let's get it in the chat. Get it in the chat right now. There it is. I'll probably go on the another device and pin it onto the chat. I'll let you call in. 4-3 is a mad score, but that last few minutes should have been an easy catch on. Sack the manager. It's not on the manager for me. Not on the manager. I swear you'll never see anything like this ever again. It's a joke. 3-0 up and you messed it up. Manager ain't at fault. Our bench is nowhere near good enough at the minute, and today proved that. Yeah, the injuries aren't great either. I'm sick of hearing the same things every game. Ollie at least has scored 3. They can hardly score 2. Can I share my thoughts? Yes, you can. The StreamYard link's in the chat already. Nice doesn't get you anywhere. I agree. I get that. No one's going to want to do. Someone will pay his wages, I'm sure. Or someone, or maybe just release him. Just release him. If it's for the sake of his career and for the sake of the club, just release him. One thing McSheffrey could have done was Williams coming on and Rowe going into midfield, but Ed Williams wasn't on the bench. Maybe there was a little injury. Maybe he just wasn't featuring. I don't know why. Chal let me on. You can stay up. After that, sick of hearing the same things every week. Absolutely. Sam, straight on the channel, straight on the stream. What are you thinking, mate? Because I'm thinking that's embarrassing.
Oh, it is embarrassing, mate. I cannot believe it. I am fuming, honestly. I've punched the wall so many times. My hands hurting. When we're 3-0 up, I was partying in my front room, you know. Couldn't get to the game today, so I was just listening in on that I follow £2.50 thing. So I was there dancing around the front room, 3-0 up. Oh, we can't lose this. And then it's 4-3 and I'm headbutting wall. And, you know, we just rubbish it, aren't we? You know what I mean?
What can we do now? We are the worst team away from home out of all 7 tiers of English football. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, we'll probably also get beat by like people in the 7th tier at all with where we're playing. But this isn't Gary McSheffrey's fault, like you said. He was a great first half, really, and then obviously the team's gone out and thought, we've already won this, and just really gave up. Honestly,
I mean, to be fair, people in the comments have said about Roshaw Williams bringing him on and putting Tommy Rowe in the midfield. I mean, Tommy Rowe would add some experience into that midfield, but again, Roshaw Williams, did he not trust to put on Roshaw Williams because he's only just come back onto the bench, because he's not fully fit?
Yeah, possibly. Probably just didn't want to risk him because that's what happened we've risked a few people, John Taylor and some others, and then they've had longer injuries, haven't they? So probably just didn't want to risk it. He probably could have risked it and it could have paid off or not, but it all changed when Bogues went off.
And Gardner and Barlow.
Yeah, as soon as them three, it was just after that half time, wasn't it? When that half time, I think we just relaxed, sat back, right, we've won this. Let's just sit back, relax, and get our first away win. And then obviously they wanted it more.
It's like the players didn't care. It's like some of those players didn't care.
Yeah, I'm seeing it a lot. Like even like just when it's like 1-0, even 0-0, they just don't want to go out and fight for it. Like when other clubs, like obviously Morecambe, have come back from 3 down, they're a club that wants to stay up.
I'll tell you what, fair play to Morecambe. Lincoln are now in the bottom 4 and Morecambe are out the relegation zone. Fair play to bloody Morecambe. They've been fantastic in that second half. Cole Stockton as well. Typical, isn't it? We keep them quiet at the keep-mo, and then Cole Stockton goes on an absolute worldie in the second half.
Yeah, I know. It's one of them players where I think we just needed to keep 2 men on him or something like that at all times because he's either top scorer in League One or one of the top scorers.
Yeah.
So he's always going to be hard for us to handle. And I obviously got that young back line. He had Tommy Rowe at centre-back, I think. So that kind of helps. But I'd rather have him out wide. I think the formation Liam Odom put up on Twitter to start off with, I think that were a good formation. Well, obviously it won't work, but I think I like the look of that. But no, we just need to show a bit of passion and fight to win. Sorry for swearing, but just fuming. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%, mate. For you then, January, make or break this month. The board have to back the manager with exactly what he wants, because if we don't get exactly what we want, surely the fans are going to... And you know me, Sam, and people know me. I'm on the board 100%. But in my opinion, and I don't know if you agree with this or not, if we don't spend any money in January or we spend it on poor quality or a low quality amount of players, maybe fans will start protesting.
Yeah, massively. Obviously, he said we've got substantial funds available
significant. Apparently, £500,000.
Yeah, significant. So if that's true, and we bring in, but then if we bring in, National League level, who were it? That Milan, whoever, I don't know.
Lalkovic.
Yeah, he's obviously conference level, isn't he? And we're thinking of bringing him in. He don't really give us a good name, does it? These significant funds.
McSheffrey's ruled Lalkovic out, saying he's not what we need right now. And Marquise is apparently too expensive and would eat up the whole budget, which gives you an idea of the budget in January. And then Paul Downing's, because of his wages, he isn't so high up the list of centre-backs that we're after. But it just gives you an insight as to questioning, who are we actually after if Downing's not that high on the list?
Yeah, I'm thinking the same, because if he's one of the highest earners, then obviously he's obviously got a lot of money at I think it was $3,500 or something like that I heard that he were on. But who are we actually going after? We're going after these conference level players. Like, we just need experience, because in that we need experience there to we're winning now. We need to and then just command the team, not even just the player, the team, and just get them in, and just Andy Butler, I know or Cops or something like that, just someone that can change the game like that, just an experienced head, obviously, that's been at a club. Or even Richie Wellings in that.
People that's going to become icons at this club in a few years, and what we've got are fringe players.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we need. I think who's the most experienced player? Tom Anderson, Tommy Rowe.
Anderson's injured. Tommy Rowe, John Bostock's injured. Omar Bogle's now injured. That's it. We've got one.
Yeah, exactly. They're the senior players, really, aren't they? And we've got none of them. So injuries haven't helped us at all. this year.
And Gavin Baldwin came out and said we're going to be less reliant on loanees. If we get, I swear to God, if we get loads of loanees this January.
Yeah, like you said, I think there could be protests if we get rubbish players. And well, I've seen it on thingy. Can we burn the stadium down again and all this? Like saying
For
that,
me, I
obviously,
don't agree with that. I think that's people going too far, and that's just fans.
it was just a joke, but like it's that level that they're getting too angry. Like they're getting really angry about it. But
yeah,
it's honestly obviously, well, we had a big budget. Apparently, it's gone up, but really, is that the truth? Because I know a lot of people are. I'm not going to judge them until after January, and it could be make or break for the board. Because, like I said, there could be protests, there could be anything going on. Really, obviously, that I seen that there were like a few chants about Baldwin out and whatnot. A few games this year, like away games, and then there's that flag that's been on Twitter today. But
and there's been the stickers, there's been the
yeah.
support team, not the regime posters going round. It's getting to a point where it'll start boiling over soon.
Yeah, exactly. And if we don't get the right players in January, he needs 3 or 4 good players that can change his team. Because
I'd say 4 or 5. I'd say 4 or 5.
Yeah, I just give us a bit because I think 4 or 5 really good players will be too much for the budget if Marquis is, well, just clearing all the budget. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? So we've got Fleetwood next on Saturday. Yeah. Do you think we're going to get any signings in before that game, or do you think it's going to be the same old, same old?
It's probably going to be the same old, same old. I just think, well, I know they said that they'd had a meeting or something like that in there, but I think I think it's going to be like the middle of January where we get most of the deals done, and then towards the end.
And this is what I don't get. Like if they've had verbal agreements with some of the targets and they've been speaking with some of the targets and getting them in place even before the 1st of January, why in the bloody hell are we waiting until the middle of January before we can actually sign them?
Yeah, exactly. I think it was Bolton signed someone on day one, and then obviously
exactly. And it was someone that scored loads of goals last season as well.
Yeah, that's Doyle, I think.
Yeah, Lincoln already had someone in place for the 1st of January, a youngster from Swansea on a loan to buy option. It's going to get him out of this situation.
Yeah, they're getting them loans. You know, they're getting loan to buy loans. They're getting really good players loans. And we've got Thiago Cuca. We've got Rodrigo Vilca.
If he's going back, Vilca's gone back. If
I know, but
no offense to Thiago, he's a great guy in that. But sorry, but he needs to go back to Watford immediately.
Yeah, I thought. Well, I hope Omar Bogle's injury isn't that bad because Joe Dodo, I don't rate him. I think he tries to win an header and he must. I don't even know. He can't head a ball really. He jumps up for the header and then the ball lands 5 minutes later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or the ball lands and he jumps up 5 minutes later.
Yeah, and Hawula again, just very, very poor today from Hawula. What? Sorry, nothing against him as a person, but what the bloody hell are we signing Jordi Hawula for when he's injury prone and he's been at rubbish clubs?
I think he's probably one of the only available people, really, and I think Wellings might have just like who were it? Joe Dodo and Rodrigo Vilca. I think them two were just a striker, panic buys, panic. Right, who can we get? I think he's Googled strikers available. First one that we can afford. Bang. There, him. Wouldn't surprise if he's gone to the street and tried to find someone.
We screwed up Will Grigg. Sunderland screwed up Aidan O'Brien. They were panic. I knew that full stop.
Yeah.
And the winger, Vilca wasn't even the top target that we were going after. We even lost out on the top target in that position as well.
We're just losing a lot at the moment, aren't we? I don't think we can win out. Is this? We haven't won a game away all season, have we?
I think it's just one.
Oh, it's Scunny in league we haven't won, have we? It was Scunny in.
No. I think it's just one league game. I think it's literally just one league game. In fact, I've got the Rovers matches up here, actually. I'm going to double check this. So
I can't remember.
In terms of who we've had away this season, Crewe in the trophy, lost that. Wellens got sacked. Burton lost that. Bolton lost that with 10 men. Scunthorpe in the trophy, we won 3-2. We won Scunthorpe in the FA Cup. In terms of league, Crewe draw, Charlton 4-0 defeat, Gillingham loss, Ipswich 6-0 defeat, Plymouth 2-1. Oh God, have we actually? Have we actually not what we got? I think we got 1 point away from home. In fact, no, hang on. Portsmouth 1 point. Do, 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 do.
Portsmouth were home on it.
No, Portsmouth. Oh no, Portsmouth. Yeah, it was home.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So hang on, let's have a look. So Crew was 1 point, so we got a 1-1 draw there. That's it. Just 1 point away from home. No wins.
Wow. And we're in New Year now, aren't we? We're in
And
January.
we're bottom of the league. Still.
Exactly. I think this club's just you never we might get promoted from conference in a few years, you know what I mean? Celebration started.
Mate, you're going to just see that AFTV clip when in that Thomas Partey music video with the caption, "We score against Boreham Wood in the conference playoff final 2027."
That'll be us celebrating straight for the 1-0 win. But no, it was a really good start to, obviously 3-0 in first half, can't really complain, can we? And then
no, we were on cloud nine at that first half, and then second half, it's like they came out and just became a non-league side.
I think they've just gave up or something. I'm not sure. Well,
I think they thought they were already in cruise control and not
exactly.
taking into account. I don't think they took into account what Morecambe Football Club can do.
Yeah, I think they're just, we're beating these 3-0. These are rubbish. Well, we're going to get a big 3 points here. First 3 points. Right. What do we do?
I think we barely had a shot in the second half as well. I think we barely had a shot.
Yeah, I know. Morecambe shot, Morecambe attacking, Johnny defending. All I heard, I thought I'd got it on replay or something like that. I don't know what happened.
You know what? There's certain players I feel sorry for. The abuse that Lewis Jones was getting today was undeserved. Yes, we conceded 4 goals, but he was not at fault for any of those goals at all. Yeah. Lewis Jones shouldn't have got the abuse.
Yeah, I think people just don't like him. I'm not sure. I think he's a good keeper. He's had a few good games, and
I think it's because he's not this big old loanee or he's not this big old permanent signing from a higher league. That's why he's homegrown talent. He's going to take time. He's not at fault for any of the goals. The players I feel sorry for, along with Lewis Jones, especially today, the players I feel sorry for today, Joseph Olowu, Tommy Rowe, Matt Smith, Omar Bogle, Aidan Barlow, Dan Gardner, and to an extent Galbraith, and maybe Horton. Rest of them, no.
Yeah, I think we've got too many loans in and people like they just don't care about the club and just use it as a stepping stone, really. Right, let me go to this for a few months.
And we said we weren't going to do that this season. Even under Wellings, we said we weren't going to appoint players that weren't going to use this club as a stepping stone.
I think you sometimes might get that. Obviously, going to free agents like, it's the only club I can get. Let's just go there. And obviously, they're not going to try and then find another club from there, because obviously you're going to be more in the market when you're playing at a club instead of free agents, aren't you? So I think these people are just wanting to move. But even like Omar Bogle could have come back into the team and been a right idiot and played as worse as he could, because he's been exiled for months. But he's actually done better than Joe Dodu.
He's performed better in 45 minutes than some of our other players have played in a full flipping season.
Exactly. I feel bad for him because now he's injured after his second.
I wonder how long that's going to be. And Tom Anderson, they were saying it on commentary while I was watching the match. They said it on commentary. Tom Anderson came out in one of those big boots. It looks like it's going to be longer than January.
Yeah, I heard 3 months, I think. So I'm not sure.
And that's embarrassing. And I did that stream a couple of days ago, and there was a chat. And apparently, according to a Charlton fan, a Charlton insider said that Charlton Athletic were preparing a £500,000 bid for Tom Anderson. Now, whether that's in January or it's a pre-contract for the end of the season, I don't know. Does that mean that Anderson's going to go at the end of the season? I don't know. But if Anderson goes to Charlton next season after that injury and we get relegated and we lose another player, what's going to happen? What's going to happen?
Another senior player as well. And then with that money, we'll probably get
another member of that spine. Another member of that original Anderson, Whiteman, Marquise, Rose spine. Marquise gone, Whiteman gone, Anderson could be gone. Tommy Rowe, is he going to want to stay for this?
I also think that it could be, if like Anderson, like you said, Tommy Rowe's going to want to go because, there's no other senior players there. The senior players last year, in that playoff year we had Rowe, Butler, Paul Downing to an extent, Tom Anderson, Marquise, and the list just goes on. And now we've got Tom Anderson injured, Tommy Rowe playing. I think that's about it, isn't it? The old Omar Bogle went off injured. Like that, they're quite old, experienced players. Like that are quite that are really good. Like we had so many in that. Even like last year, we had a few, obviously with Tom and Andy Butler and others, but now
especially with Bogle injured, etc. There can't be any excuses. We had to make signings before Saturday, otherwise there's no point in even playing that game. Because if Barlow's injured, Bogle's injured, and if Gardner's picked up a knock, with Anderson out already for probably 3 months, we're going to be playing kids. And even against a side like Fleetwood, they could batter us. And then after Fleetwood, we've got teams in the top 10 plus Ipswich. Well, teams in the top 8 plus Ipswich in the next 8 games, including the top 4.
That could be, honestly, I think we could be.
That could be the end of our season. We could be relegated
7, 8,
March.
Even 10 points adrift from out of relegation zone.
If we get to the 22nd of February and we've lost the last 9 games, we could be out of the league by February. We could be out by March.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. But yeah, I think it could be done, and then we'll just give up. And then is that Gary McSheffrey getting sacked by the board? No time for him. I just hope that they don't do that, because I think he needs a transfer window or two. Obviously, you're going to have January, but I think he needs a summer if these significant funds aren't big.
To be honest with you, mate, if the manager doesn't get backed in January, we finish bottom of the league, we go down to League 2 and Gary McSheffrey gets sacked or left his post to go back to the academy or wherever, that for me will be the last straw for, I'd say, 99% of the fans with the board.
Yeah, massively. I think, a question for you, Aaron, would you be bored out if the players we sign in January are League 2, Conference, even like poor League 1 players? After they've said to us that we've got these significant funds, we're going to go out when we can get high quality players with this money.
I said before I wouldn't say the words bored out, but I think if we had a terrible window, I would say maybe someone needs to come into the board and sort things out, or maybe we need someone to move on.
Yeah, definitely. I think, let's be honest. I think if you're not supplying...
I'm not saying specific names, but someone needs to move on if we don't succeed.
Yeah, I think, even if you're not going to supply significant funds, don't say it and don't try and lie. I'd rather have them say, right, we're going to give them a bit of money just whilst we're recovering from this, and that. And that's what most of I know there's a lot of people on Twitter, bored out and Baldwin out and Blunt out. That's what they say, lies. Just don't tell lies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think there needs to be... one thing I think they'll admit, there needs to be a bit more sort of transparency between the fans. We're having to rely on media outlets telling us exactly what's going on.
Yeah, I think, no offense to Liam Odom, but I don't think he's out saying what's going on with the board. But
Radio Sheffield have the balls to say it.
Yeah, Radio Sheffield are quite good. Like when they went out and they were doing some, is it like Rob Staten or something?
Yeah.
He was giving some good questions to Gavin Baldwin when he interviewed him. And I think that's what Liam Odom needs to do. No offense to him, obviously, because he does a good job. But I think sometimes he's a bit just ask. So even after January, why? If we have a bad January, why have we had a bad January when you said this? And then just see what they say. And then if they say, and then they come out with another excuse. My dad's uncle, sister's brother's dad, dog's babysitter. Lost $5, so I had to lend him some money or something like that, then it's just going to be...
and there's no real excuses now, because they've said all the debts have been paid off in the between New Year and March at the Meet the Owners meeting. They said all the HMRC and the player loan debts and the EFL loan debts, etc., the HMRC debts, they're all being cleared between New Year and March. And that's Baldwin's words at the Meet the Owners meeting. I can quote that. That was there. We're in a position where we haven't got any debts anymore, so more funds are available. There isn't actually any excuses. If you don't provide the funds, then it's a lie, because you said all the debts are cleared.
Yeah, exactly. That's well, I just took the words out of my mouth, really. Yeah, if they just want to carry on lying, then people are going to be more angry than if you just come out and said, right, we let us clear this, and then we're going to put a lot of money in January once we've cleared all the debts, everything that needs paying off, really. And I think I'd respect them more for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's go through some comments then, just while you're here. Just needed someone to get their foot on the ball and keep possession in the second half. I agree with that. Just a little update. Yeah, Premier League. When we had Bogle and Gardner on, we had someone who could hold the ball up and win heads and someone that gets stuck in and break up the play. Second half, we had neither. Spot on. Downing will be on at least 5 or 6K at Pompey. That's, if we can't even afford that, then bloody hell. If we don't get a decent defender, relegation is inevitable. Bolton signed Dion Charles. Apparently, we just say back second half. Yeah. Name the whole team then. It was always going to be backs to the wall second half. They had nothing to lose, and at home, so they were always going to go out and attack. And I get that. He's having a good old laugh. Rodman fan. You're where we are. We are where we are. That's not true. And if it was a pre-contract, it'd be on a free. That's true. As much as I would have backed McSheffrey, I feel like there's not been able to hold on to a 3-0 lead proves that he does not have the experience. And I get that. Board needs to go. You having any mods on your channel might be ideal. Your channel being this big, might look at that. But yeah, it's awful. Sam, thank you very, very much for coming on the show, mate. I really do appreciate it.
No problem. See you later, mate.
There we are. Aiden's on the show now. Aiden, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, what was that embarrassing display?
I don't know. Literally, I don't know. I'm 3-0. I was literally laughing. I was literally enjoying myself. I felt like, oh yeah, Gary McSheffrey, we've turned down. We're a new club. And then they get the first goal, and I'm thinking, like, we're still thinking. And they get the second one, and the third one, I'm thinking. And then the fourth one, then we bottled it. Like, from being 3-0 up and being like prime Brazil, we've gone back to Doncaster.
And I've just seen this on Twitter, mate. A guy called Tony Greenall's just posted. I'm guessing he's heard Gary McSheffrey's interview. If the tone of Gary McNewboss on BBC Sheffield just now is anything to go by, most of that team are out the door any day now. That is very exciting to hear because some of those players are just not good enough.
I'm confused. What do you mean by that? Like, what? So you're going to get rid of some players or something?
Well, what he's basically said is, from the tone of Gary McSheffrey's interview on BBC Radio Sheffield just now,
yep,
sounds like it sounds like most of the team's going to be out of the door in the next couple of days, from the sounds of it.
Wow. Personally, if I was McSheffrey, I'd be like, Thiago goes, Dodo goes, Hawula goes. But I don't know about Alwodu because he pretty much won their goals away from like pretty much just not passing the ball. Just gets tackled and they go and score. But honestly,
looking at that team today, I'm going to put this. I've got my team. Well, I've got my team sheet with me, but I've also got the lineups on here. I'm going through that team, and this is no offense to any of the players if you're watching this or if you find this stream, but these are the players that this is my judgment on the players, and that's in the squad at the moment. Lewis Jones, keep homegrown talent. Carl Noyle, I'll decide it at the end of the season. Joseph Olowu, keep. Tommy Rowe, keep. Aidan Barlow, after that performance, I keep him. Matt Smith, keep. Horton, keep. Galbraith, keep. Gardner, keep. Hawula, gone. Bogle, keep. Williams, no offense, but gone. Dalberg, out of the pecking order, gone. Dadu, gone. Chakir, gone. Hassani, keep for development. Blythe, keep for development. Ravenhill, keep for development. And then we look at the rest of the squad, the players that I've not mentioned, the players that are either injured or just aren't involved at the moment. Tom Anderson, I would say keep. Williams, I've already said maybe. Close, in my opinion, he's not shown enough. So for me at the moment, unless he turns it around, he'd be gone. Okunabiri, I don't think the club's treated him right. He'd be gone. Taylor, keep. Bostock, keep. Williams, I think he's fallen out of favour, so I'd have him gone. Seaman, keep. John, keep. Greaves, keep. Kulea, keep, and the rest of them like Bottomley, Harrison, etc. can go into the youth. So there's quite a few I'd be getting rid of out of that squad.
Yeah, but like I've heard apparently we put a bid in for $1 million for Marquez. This is what I've rumoured. but I don't think it's true. But I've heard apparently we're bidding the mill for him.
I mean, it's just if how can we put 1 million bid in when we're told it's too expensive?
Yeah, that's why I got. But like I don't know. But like John Taylor comes back. Yeah, we have one. He plays the game. He's good. But honestly, I think the physio rushed John Taylor way too much. I think
Yeah.
they just want to get back on the pitch because it's like
Okanabiri was a medical nightmare. We made such a bad decision with Okanabiri, and then it's got worse and worse and worse with
Yeah.
every single setback. And now he's out for till about 10 games of the season to go. We might already be down by that point.
Yeah, but like if we don't I think this January transfer is like a make or break, like you said. If we don't get like any good players in, I'm honestly so close to walk away from the club. I don't want to do it, but I'm so close from just saying no. I don't want to support them anymore because it's getting to the point where if we go to League Two, and then we stay in League Two and we don't go back up, that's a thing. But is Sheffield going to stay or is he going to go back to the academy if we get relegated?
Or is he going to go all together and go to a club where he
Yeah.
can learn somewhere else?
Yeah, but I honestly think the board is driving this club underground.
And what's your driving factor behind that?
It's just like, do you know when we had the meet the owners night, when we mentioned about the money and that, saying they've got the money and that, but if they've got the money, why are we not using it wisely and getting the right recruitment that we need to help this team become better?
And this is the contrasting thing about the board, and I've said this for months. Financially, as a business, we're run very well, but in terms of football decisions and the decisions that we're making on the pitch or off the pitch that'll affect on the pitch, they've just not been good enough.
Yeah, I think it's like I can remember when we had John Ryan at the time, like probably the best chairman and owner we've ever had, and like he brought the right recruitment. Like Hater, Cops was already there at the time, but like we were bringing in players that was helping us, and then
The only controversial year was the experiment year, a decade ago.
But I honestly think I don't know what's happened to the club, but like I think I'm not blaming the manager or Wellens or in the past drought, but I think when Wellens was our manager and he brought these players in, I think he brought the players in to trick us. Say, yeah, we've got these players from these clubs doing so good. Look at Thiago. He scored one goal, but he's nothing like. Look at Bogle today. He was chasing balls and him and Gardner were just troubling him. But I know he got a bit of a knock and Sheffield wanted to not make it worse. But if we had anyone play like Bogle, I think we could have won back. We could have won easy.
Yeah. It's honestly, mate, I don't know what to do anymore. I really, really don't. What do you think happens now then?
The players, the coach need to sit down and think, what do we need to do in this January window? Because I don't know, but like what you just said about Radio Sheffield, about some players being out the next days, but is that going to be like experienced low knees, or just going to be players walking out because they just had enough of the club?
Yeah, I mean, it's depressing when you're getting fans of the club saying that we deserve to go down. I mean, like when people say that, it's just like, what has happened? What's happened to this football club?
Yeah, it's like when we was 3-0, we're out. Like me and mates were like, yeah, new change, and then we was like really positive, and then they got the 3 goals, 4 goals, and then we was like, oh, it should back to normal. We're just gonna concede, lose every game. But like if we get like Bogle and that he's injured and we're playing kids, we might as well just not even bother playing the rest of the season because it just can get to the point where we're not gonna have players. But honestly, I don't know what to say. I think today we're just showing that the players just don't want to play for the club. Well, like not every player, but there's some specific players. I'm not going to say names, but I think they don't want to play for the club.
Yeah, and you have to sort of look at the recruitment and think, what in the bloody hell is going on?
Yeah. But like, don't get me wrong. Like, I spoke to Omar Bogle myself, and he wants to play for a club, but he said
Yeah.
when Wells didn't play him, it was a hard time for him. Like, he was on about just leaving. Like, but then when Wells, then he went to the youth team to train for them. We had Williams, but like when I spoke to him, he was generally wanting to play for a club. Like today, you can tell he was literally like passing, saying up, like Aidan Barlow. I don't know why we brought him off. Like,
Yeah. Unless it
like,
was an injury.
yeah. But it's like I watched it and I was thinking, injuries are just killing us. It's just killing us as a club. Like, but I don't know.
What happens now in the window? There's no doubt we have to sign players before Saturday. We can't go with that squad, especially with Barlow maybe injured, Bogle probably injured, Gardner maybe having a knock. Tom Anderson could be out for longer than January. We have to bring in signings, and we need to bring them in now and move the deadwood out of that bloody door.
Yeah, because it's like, honestly, I'm hoping that Thiago goes within tomorrow. Because if he's still here by Saturday, there's going to be a lot of people complaining to the board and saying, "Why is this player not gone? He's just not doing anything." Like, honestly, I'd say Thiago would go. Dodo just goes for headers. He doesn't really like do it that much. Hawula's, but honestly, I think we need Bogle. If Bogle's not injured, that'd be a saviour. So I think Bogle could be a really, really like good player for us, and he could actually hope to save us up.
Yeah, 100% agree. The manager isn't at fault. Can everyone stop saying that? It's the players. People like Kieran Dadu don't care for the club and don't put any money in. We need a striker, centre back, and a few midfielders. I've not said it's manager's fault. I don't think any of the callers have said it's the manager's fault. There are people in the chat who believe who believe the manager is at fault, and there's people on Twitter that believe the manager's at fault. But for me, it's the players. The players aren't good enough. I've spoken to Bogle myself as well on Instagram, and said to me, he said he was gutted when Wellens throws him out and wants to play for the club. You can see that with recent performances. Absolutely, Bogle is our best striker right now. I feel Shaqiri's only here because we don't have the players to fit the squad. Maybe that's a definite. He kissed the badge when we walked past the fans when he came off today. Yeah, absolutely. Bogle's one of our best players to get a pace striker next to him and aid him. Why are we apparently looking at bringing in players that are prone to injury? Exactly. I've got to agree with that. Aidan, thank you very, very much for coming in, mate. Take care.
Thank you.
There was Dane backstage, but he's gone now. So hopefully he does come back. But guys, I'm still so just God, I don't know what to do anymore. I just don't know what to do anymore. And he kissed the bag when he walked past the fans when he came off today. Exactly. Omar Bogle cares for this bloody football club. Why can't any of the other players care? Why can't they? Bogle is one of our best players. Yeah, we already said that. We're apparently looking at bringing him. Yeah, I was very spoke about that. I say play for the badge and the club, or don't play at all and get the flip out. Exactly, spot on. This bus ride feels longer than it's meant to be. This bus ride's going down the edge of a bloody cliff. That's what this bus ride's going to. But guys, I have put the link in the chat, the StreamYard link. I will put it in again so you guys can come on and have your say. I've shared. Hang on, that's it. No, sorry, that's the channel link. Go and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The link's in the description in the live chat. But here's the StreamYard link. Come on and have your say. Because we need fans desperately to get their frustrations. Vent your frustrations. This is the platform to vent your frustrations. Chillingham fan here, thinking of you lot tonight. That's the sort of thing we would do. People say that we need Fajiri back. He's only scored 13 in his time with us. It isn't that good, but still decent. What do you think needs to happen, mate? I tell you what needs to bloody happen, mate. And by the way, shout out to Tyler for that comment and that question. Brilliant question. I tell you what needs to happen. Some of those players rip up their contracts and kick them out the door and bring in players that will play for this club, play for the badge every single bloody week. I don't give a flying one if you've got a twisted ankle. You want players that'll have a twisted ankle and want to play on, because you need players with fight, desire, passion for the badge on the shirt. If you don't have any passion for the shirt, get out of this club and don't come back, because I only want players that play for the badge every week. I don't want players just playing for a wage check every week. I want players playing for a badge, the badge of Doncaster Rovers Football Club. I don't want players playing for a wage check anymore. And knowing our squad and where we are in terms of league-wise, the wage check isn't even that big anyway. You got home quick. 13 goals more than you scored this season, which is it's just 100%, mate. In my opinion, only Bogle, Barlow, Anderson, Rowe, Jones and Horton play for the club, not the others. Some of the other youngsters do. Bailey is here. He's just back up from Morecambe. Bailey, you were at the ground today. I watched it from home. Absolutely shocking, wasn't it? Embarrassing.
So first half, best we've played all season.
Yeah.
But Bogle and Gardner coming off, obviously. Gardner broke everything up in midfield. Bogle won all headers. I'll ball up well. And then when you got Cooker and Dodu up front, they're taller when they're not jumping than when they are. It's just shocking in winning headers and that. I
don't know if you feel the same, Bailey, but for me, if I was the manager and I was the board of directors, if I was on the board, I'd be ripping up Dude's contracts and I'd be sending Thiago back to Watford tonight.
Well, I think Thiago will go anyway, but Dodu, it's pointless ripping up his contract because we have to pay him off anyway. So
that is a good point, and we have to pay, and we're paying off, in my opinion, a not good enough player. So we have to. At this point, if I was the board, then I'd be contacting clubs saying, "Do you fancy taking Dodu on for a couple of years?" Because
who's going to want him?
Exactly, that's the problem. Who's going to want him? But if he's putting in those kind of performances, I won't be playing him ever again.
We've got to play him though, won't we? Because who else have we got? Bench today, boys. Bench has let us down.
How long have we said that this season? How many times have we said that?
Because the injuries we've got, it's been all season. But bench is just shocking. It proved it today. 3-0 up at half time. Gardner and Bogle come off them, Barlow as well. And the second half was just shocking. And you could tell as soon as first goal went in, you could tell what was going to happen. They're at home, 3-0 down, they're going to go all out for it, and it's paid off.
I mean, what happens now for you then? Because surely, there has to be signings before Saturday's game. If not, people go mad.
Well, they've got to have been speaking to people to try and bring them in as early as possible. We can't wait until end of month. But the loans, I think Vilker and Cook will be going back, but that probably won't be until after the Fleetwood game anyway. And then loans, they're probably going to wait until end of month to see if they can get better offers.
Well, Vilker for me is gone. Vilker's gone anyway. Chakir needs to go back tonight, in my opinion. I mean, but like I said, why? A previous caller said there was talk that we're probably going to be waiting until the middle of January. The middle of January. Why would we wait until the middle of the month when we've got the top 4 and the top 8 plus Ipswich in the next load of games up until the 22nd of February? Why would you wait until the middle of January before we bring those players in when we go into a run like that, where we could get relegated before March?
Well, I don't think we'll be relegated before March. And even though we've got top 8 or whatever coming up.
Oh.
After that, the running should be up.
Oh, I think Bella's connection's going a bit haywire. I think Bella's connection's going a bit off the mark. Tell you what, we'll put you backstage, Bailey, and we'll get you back on when your connection's back up and running. Let's go through some more comments. Man like Bailey, Chakira's 6'4" and can't win headers. That's what I mean. Kalea is someone I want to see play more. Graham Younger needs his contract ripping up. To be fair, I've got to ask questions about Graham. Yeah, Bailey's connection's gone haywire. McSheffrey out. Nah, this ain't on the manager. MK away, can't wait. We've had an entire recruitment evening entire recruitment evening where the club would probably and probably Gary agreed on players to sign, need 2 before the weekend, in my opinion. We need more than bloody 2. How can anyone here back Jones? Terrible goalkeeper with no ball. Mate, I'm sorry, but for me, Jones wasn't at fault for the goals today. Jones, for me, is just unlucky that he's going to deal with clowns in front of him. Backstage lol. Yeah, we've done better under Gary. Yeah, we think you'll beat MK Dons. No, are you joking? Your connections, like you were saying.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it'll be down to us with how long we wait. It's down to who we're getting the players from. The clubs, like with Grigg, we could have got him earlier, but Sunderland wanted to wait for see if they got any better offers. So it's going to be down to parent clubs and whether they want to get rid of it. Why would they send him out on loan to Donny, bottom of league, early on in window when they can wait, and try and get him on loan to an higher league club?
Yeah. Just get your thoughts on this just while we're live. So Tom Bitcliffe's asked Gary McSheffrey, is keeping the side almost an impossibility now. He said there's still enough games. We just try and manage games better. Only time will tell. While I'm leading them, I'll always believe we can win. Body language is like a robot going off, and we can't have that. And there's a picture of him with his arms folded, just leaning over a bench. And people are commenting on that, saying, look at his body language, doesn't lead by example. I mean, are they just picking at little details here and there, or do you sort of look at that, answer that question and say, maybe McSheffrey's got a point?
Well, I think I won't blame him if he were a bit unhappy. Like 3-0 at half time, we lose 4-3 in his first game as permanent manager. He's not going to be happy at all, is he? And the way some of the players have performed, I don't blame him.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Take Charlie Brown from MK Dons. I don't even know who he is, so he could be. It'll probably be the perfect signing because we don't know who he is. Jones doesn't say one word to his defence when the goal went in. He's shocking. End of. I was there, didn't command his ear, and didn't communicate one with his defence. And I get that. There were moments where I thought, hang on, there should be a bit of communication here and there, but he wasn't at fault for the goals.
Communicating all game.
Exactly. For me, Jones was communicating at certain points, so I don't know where that's coming from. Some points maybe needs to communicate a little bit more, but most of the game he was communicating with his defence. Jake says gutless. A lot of them, the subs and bench are what's going to kill us, and who's to blame for that? You all know the answer. And you know this is the point I'm going to make right now, mate. Do you think the fans and board relationship's going to turn if it all goes sour after January?
Oh yeah, the people who want the board to do well and what have you, they will turn if January don't go well. But it's not all the board's fault if they don't bring in the players. McSheffrey's going to be bringing in players. Younger's going to be bringing in players. It's down to them. It's not all down to the board. They give the funds or whatever, but it's not all down to them.
I think if January goes south, there's got to be a collective responsibility here. If we sign, for me, if we sign bad players, it's recruitment's fault. If the players aren't playing on the pitch, it's the players' fault. If the manager makes bad tactical decisions, it's the manager's fault. If the funds aren't given like they were promised, it's the board's fault. So it's a collective responsibility.
Yeah, it's obviously funds aren't given, but funds for us will be completely different. So you just don't know what players are going to want and what. So you just don't know what, like transfer. I don't think we'll be paying any transfer fees. It's just waiting.
Look at that.
Yeah, I saw that at ground. It just depends because we're not going to be paying any fees. So it just depends how much players want, and if we're bringing players in and getting clubs to pay a bit of wages, it's how much they want us to pay.
Yeah, and you know what? And to be fair, you know what? I want to bring you back to what I just showed you, that image, to support the team, not the regime poster. Do you think fans are actually starting to not just say it on Twitter now? Do you think it's a case of the fans are now starting to take action?
Well, them banners have been going to away games all season. So it's not just started now, it's just the people that are saying bored out or whatever is getting bigger each game. each week, whatever. It will only get bigger unless it's sorted out. But it's not all the board's fault. There's only so much they can do.
Yeah.
The signings were poor. Fair enough, they might not have given enough money, but the way he spent the money wasn't good enough.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Bailey, thank you very, very much for coming on the show, mate, and have a safe trip back.
Yeah, cheers, Evan.
Great to see Bailey, of course, obviously at the game today. I managed to watch the game from home, but yeah, it's great to see him here today. And you know what? To be fair, you know, when you see that massive, you know, and if you know, I'm not the mouthpiece for the club. If I see a picture of a banner that says "Support the team, not the regime," Netto FC. You know, it's fans' opinions. We're a fan channel. I'm not paid by Rovers. I'm not affiliated to the club. I can show that on camera because we're a fan channel. It's all about people's opinions. If they believe support the team, not the regime, that's their opinion, and I'll share it. If there's a protest going on at the Eco Power Stadium next week, I'll film it and I'll show it because it's fans' opinions. Dahlberg should be playing, to be honest. Why pay that much for him to sit on the subs bench? I don't know. Maybe that's Gary's field of work. Maybe that's a selection thing. Big Aaron for the job. It'd be nice. He's young and inexperienced. I know that, and accept, but he's saved us on so many occasions this season. Yeah, that's where we go with that. Baldwin out. Let's go. Liam Ravenhill is built like a Bucky pen. We could all have a laugh, can't we? Donny Rovers, I won 8-1 today, score 2. Horrendous club at the minute. Interesting fact, my mate Joe has 11. God's sake. Gavin Baldwin shops at Netto. Graham Younger needs to be held accountable. For me, Graham Younger needs to answer a few questions at some of the signings because some of them haven't been good enough. In the politest possible way, Graham Younger needs to answer a few questions. We have Pontus with class on the bench. We've tried being through Jones, who has his timing isn't good enough. No talent, no physicality, no communication. He's not a keeper we need. I blame Brexit. Jesus Christ. Baldwin out, Blunt out, Young around, and Chal in. I respect the Chal in. Thank you very much, Adam. I feel Pontus on the bench because he's going back. We just need a few people as they're all injured. I did hear rumours from social media that he was going to Barnsley. So whether there's truth in that or not, we shall see. You'll beat Wednesday, but not the rest of the top 8. So Rotherham, Sunderland, Plymouth, MK, Oxford, etc. I don't think we'll beat Wednesday. I think Wednesday could do a double over. I think they'll do a double over us. You can only sign the quality players with the money we have. If Downing wages take up near all our budget, then that says enough about. Yeah, you're better than 18 Dapper, mate. 18 Dapper's a great YouTuber, but thank you for the compliment. Pontus is on the bench. He's pointless. Best keeper we have. We don't use him. Embarrassing. Well, maybe he's going. Maybe he's not being used for that reason. Gavin Baldwin shops at Netto. 2 right. Chal Baldwin out. Where do you think Rovers will finish? At this rate, I think we'll finish 23rd or 24th. I generally think it's that bad. And I will say this for a fact because I wasn't around during the Richardson times. I read all about it. In terms of playing squads, this is the worst squad I've seen in my lifetime. And that includes the 2015-16 relegation to League 2 as well. This is the worst squad I've seen. Because at least we had some fight towards the back end of the season. And we got relegated on the last couple of days of the season. We just couldn't stay up. We only just stayed down. So, you know, even that squad had a bit of fight. This squad, nah. I like your green bed sheet. Green screen, but thank you. How long are you streaming for? Probably another half an hour at least. Support the team, not the regime. That seems to be the banner. You're a fan. What's your honest opinion on the board? As a business, financially, we're run well, but as a football club, we're making bad decision after bad decision. And if we want to succeed as a football club, then maybe it's time to move on. But I really don't want to because they're nice people. I've spoken to the board numerous times. They're brilliant, nice people. But if they keep making bad football decisions, then you've got to be brutally honest with people. Even to nice people, we've got to be brutally honest. Jones is definitely better than Dahlberg. I agree with that. Congratulations, Donny. Child, get you up front. Lethal right foot on you. I haven't played football in 10 years, mate. Apart from that little video I did with the early kickoff, shout out to them. There's also the thing of Pontus. He's may not put in an effort in training. Yeah, so that's a reason. No effort in training is still better than Jones. I reckon you'll go down. I think we're pretty much down. 18 Dapper said it on Twitter. I think we're down. Dahlberg has kept in a few games, but he's made us a lot of mistakes as well. His distribution and organising of the ball is shocking. Jones better command this area well. I definitely agree with that. 18 Dapper gets pork pies. Pork pies apparently are lovely, so I'd like to try one day. Dahlberg off back, no. Do you fancy Barrow away next season? It's a long trek, but we'll see what happens. If you beat Fleetwood and then win again, you have a chance there of Charlton, Rotherham, and Argyle this month. I don't think we'll win Saturday. I'll be honest. But yeah, we go. Let's have a look. Oh, we've gone through a few comments. We've gone past a few comments, I should say. How is Jones better at commanding? Open your eyes. Yes, one of our own, but one we don't need. Not good enough. Donny signing Klopp's son, Clipperty. Nice one. I get rid of Dahlberg and use the loan spot for another outfield player and our bottom layers backup. If Jones gets injured, we can use the emergency loan. For me, though, I wouldn't use the emergency loan. I'd keep Dahlberg and maybe send back someone else, or I'd actually spend on a permanent player for a goalkeeper position and an outfield position. Such shame to see Donny like this. It's shocking. Gavin Baldwin is a cancer to the club all for himself. That performance reminded me of the flat room temperature off-brand Aldi Cola. Is it possible to finish 25th? Is it possible to finish 25, 24? I mean, knowing the club, they might do that. But there we go. But guys, I put the StreamYard link in the chat again. Go and check out the link. Happy New Year, boss. Thank you very much. Mars bar or Snickers? Mars bar all day. Can't wait to finally get some food from MKM on Saturday. Been so long. Yeah, absolutely. By the way, Jake, on Mars bars or Snickers, I went Mars bar, but to be perfectly honest at the minute, this Doncaster Rovers team is just a bunch of cavities. You need a director of football like MK Dons, 1 to 1.5 mil budget per season, and sign players like Twine, O'Reilly, and Harry Darling on freeze. Exactly. And this is why I said, no matter who the appointment, bring in a director of football, not a flipping mentor. You don't just need someone on the end of the phone that's not a paid employee of the football club. You need a director of football as well. But will we do that? Now we've got the mentor. I've got no confidence that we will. Unless something's going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. Rotherham game is going to be fun. Can't wait for a Rotherham game, mate. It's going to be wicked. Yeah, not. Hi, mate. After seeing today's result, if we don't put at least 8 past you on the 15th, then something's seriously wrong. Lol, no offense. To be honest with you, mate, hang on. I just need to find the 15th. Yeah, Wigan Athletic. I would be surprised if you score 4 or 5 passes at least. Good luck to Wigan because you guys are probably going to go up this season. Ball winning or out, Chal. I'm seriously swaying at the moment. If we don't have a great window in January, I'm literally swaying on the brink of either one. 6-0 incoming again. Listen to Blunt at Meet the Owners event. He doesn't have a clue about anything about football. Furthermore, he doesn't put anything to the club. Jones by far better at commanding his area. Dahlberg has effed up several times across and organises a wall. He's shocking. The amount of times he's effed up is unreal. Eating a steak bake. Need more than 500k to stay up. Off tea, so hopefully back in time for me to hop on. Not a problem. I will put the StreamYard link in the chat again. Guys, honestly, get in the stream. Honestly, guys, get in the stream. Let's get people's opinions because we need to open up the floor to more fans. Can't just be me talking all the time, even though people might like that. Not really. Also need to use the low market rail. I'll reference the Dons again. Parrot, Kioso, Robson, and Watters, who's now suddenly gone back to Cardiff. I'll tell you what, Rovers board, try going for Max Watters. Try going for him. Try and spend money on Max Watters being a potential option. Bit of food for thought. Significant funds for January. Get ready. Do you like the board? They're nice people, but come on. The Charlton tweet from yesterday, was it on about us? Yeah, the Charlton tweet from yesterday. I don't know what you mean by that. Send a link into the chat or send me a link or go into the StreamYard link and send it into the private chat. What's the fans' morale at home game? Stadium looks empty. The fans' morale at the minute is, it could be considered at times flat. At times it could be considered decent when we're winning. But at the worst of times, it's just toxic. It's absolutely toxic. And that's not our fans' fault. It's the players' performances that are making it like that. It really, really is. Isn't Watts a former Rovers player? Yeah, basically, he was in the academy. He was looking at bright prospects. Didn't give him a chance. What do? We let him go for free, and he becomes a world-beating striker at Football League level. It's just typical Rovers. As soon as we send players over, we don't get anything out of them. We're not getting Max Waters. He's playing well on loan at MK, and they'll probably try and get him permanently. Why would he join us over them? Exactly. Hello, Ted. Welcome to the stream. Tommy Rowe at centre-back is shocking. Basically sums the club up. For me, I didn't like Rowe at centre-back, to be honest. I think it was square pegs, round holes, and I think Rowe could be used in a better position, to be honest. But guys, honestly, I'm really, really serious. Use the StreamYard link. Get in the stream. Share your thoughts live on camera. Didn't know we'd gone back to Cardiff. Yeah, I think he'll either stay at Cardiff or MK might try and get him again, or someone else might get him again. Waters we signed from non-league, didn't we? Yeah, I think he was academy. No, he was in the academy. We are just supporting the board too much. As you say, each other just keep bad decisions one after the other. I'm amazed if you have heard it's true and we're not signing on until mid-January. I think that's what we're probably expecting at this point. To be fair, I really do fear for you, especially if our kids from last season were able to turn you over 4-1. Yeah. Sat the board, says Adam. Who's your best player at the club and who do we need to bring in and who will we got? I mean, best player right now is probably Ethan Galbraith. Who do we need to bring in? Centre-back, striker, a full-back on each side, at least 2 or 3 centre midfielders and attacking midfielders, a winger or 2, and maybe a backup goalkeeper if Dahlberg goes back. A playing budget increase of 500,000 a week is 9.5k a week. That's peanuts. Aaron in. To be fair, Rowe played well today, but with Defo out of in midfield and brought Williams or Blythe on after Gardner came off. Needs some experience and know how in the midfield. Exactly. Thoughts on Adebola Blake? Let's have a look. Adebola, is it Adebola Blake or Bloke? I think it's Blake. I think it's Blake. I mean, nah. No, there's no one there. Adebola Bloke. Oh no, Adebola Bloke. I wonder who's he? Who's Adebola Bloke? There is actually someone called that, but no chance. Yeah. Not weak. All right. I'll look for the tweet, couldn't find it. So basically, let's sign a whole new team. Don't blame you. Yeah, some of those players need to go. I think from the turn of Gary McSheffrey's interview tonight, from the sounds of it, I'm gonna go and listen to it myself, but from the sounds of it, most of that squad will probably be out the door in the next week. We all know where we're heading when the Paul Downing loan. Let me just say again, a loan would take up the majority of the budget, embarrassing from top to bottom of the club. For me, it's just what it is. Not going to get what we need with an extra 9.5k a week. Let's spend some money. Kieran Sadley will be a great signing. If he's getting scattered by Bolton and Portsmouth and Charlton, then bloody hell, we're not going to have a chance. Hawula's poor. Yeah, he's one. No offense to him as a person, but he's one of the players I want gone. I mean, what else can we say? What actually else can we say? I mean, it's just, come on, it's just, what else can I say? What else can we actually do? I don't know what else is feasibly possible. MK Don's in for a tough month with Keeper, Fisher and Twine. O'Reilly possibly leaving. If they leave, watch how well our board operates. Don't want Sadly back. Absolute snake. And I get that. But yeah, watch out. I'll tell you what, this is advice for the Rovers boards. Work on your transfers as well, but watch how MK Dons react if Fisher, Twine, and O'Reilly leave. If they leave, watch how they operate and bring in replacements, because that's how we need to be operating. With a director of football, might I add, not a mentor. Bring in the mentor as well, but bring in a director of football as well. Because if you don't bring a director of football, listen, read my lips, mate. We are screwed. Kieran's trying to connect. I hope his device connects. Yeah, it's here. Kieran's here. Kieran, what an absolute shambles and an embarrassing performance. Give us your thoughts.
What more can we say to that, Chal? Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Cruising, 3-0 up. And I still had a bad feeling because I just think I was thinking back. I don't know if you can remember when we played Cheltenham, we were 3-0 up.
Yeah.
And we sort of clung on and we won 3-2. But Wellens, after the game, said a lot of these players have never played a senior game where they've been 3-0 up and they don't quite know how to react and do this and that. And I mean, you had Liam Ravenhill out there, inexperienced. Well, a lot of players are inexperienced, aren't they, in that team, unfortunately. But I think just those words, as soon as we were 3-0 up at half time, those words from Wellens stuck in my head. And I had not flashbacks as such. I didn't think it was going to end up like that.
Yeah.
But I just had a bad feeling. And as soon as Jonathan Obika come on as well, I said to my girlfriend, I said, he always scores against us. And lo and behold, a few minutes later, he scored. But welcome to management, Gary McSheffrey.
It's just, I don't blame Gary at all for today. The players just aren't good enough. And like someone said on Twitter today after the match, from the tone of his voice, it sounds like most of that squad will be out of the door by the end of this week. But to be honest with you, I won't be surprised if they stay because we've got no other choice.
I've not been listening long, but have you seen Liam Odden's ratings from today?
No.
He gave Thiago Cuca a 1.
Yeah. And that, I mean, I'm actually thinking about changing it to a 0 on mine.
Yeah. I think Dodu got a 2, Awula a 3.
Yeah.
And that just sums it up. And there, Dodu and Awula are your experienced heads in a least experienced team, you know what I mean? And there was just nobody there to pick. And I don't know. I weren't there today. I've got COVID, so.
Yeah.
But I was watching on iFollow, and I don't know if Tommy Rowe's picking him up. Like, they need somebody to just say, "Come on." Like, I know it sounds easy and that, but yeah, it was tough to watch. I don't know. I think all the chance we had of some momentum and confidence going into next Saturday is now gone. I think it's caused the fan base to split even more.
Yeah.
Seeing us capitulate like that, I think. Well, you've obviously seen Twitter at end of game. You've seen the flags.
I've seen the posters and the banners, the support team, the regime ones, actually physically out there.
There's talks of protests and everything. I think that's what it's going to end up like. If
there's talks of protests.
I thought I heard you say something about. Oh no, you said if there is protest. Sorry, yeah. I've just got confused, but
I think protests around the corner if we don't get a great window. I think if we end up getting to February and we don't sign anyone of decent quality or just sign a bunch of loanees that haven't been in football before, then I think we'll end up having protests.
Another problem is if I was a potential signing for this club, and I'd be telling my agent after seeing that result, ignore every phone call from Doncaster Rovers. Let's go. Even to another League Two club who might be pushing for playoffs, it's a better prospect than having nobody wants a relegation on your CV.
Yeah, I've seen reports about Paul Downing that Stevenage are in the race for him now that we've basically said he's not high up in our list of targets.
Yeah, I would like to know who is on that list and how long it's going to be because, like you said, today has proved that change. We all knew change we needed, but it's needed before next Saturday.
And then with Barlow injured, with Gardner possibly
Gardner and Bogle, and if anything, they were 3 best players today. And I'm glad they performed well because they've all 3 of them. Obviously, Bogle's not really played, but Bogle, Gardner, and Barlow have all had a bit of stick this season. They all put in a good performance, and as you can see, they've gone off. And I'm not saying they were the reason, and it just shows how poor Morecambe were. But they've got a goal scorer in Cole Stockton up top, and he was lucky not to get an hat-trick.
And then you look at what else is, happening. Now you've got Barlow and possibly Gardner and Bogle out. You got if we don't bring the signings in before Saturday, you got a thinner squad. Anderson's going to be out longer than January, and we heard a couple of days ago from a Charlton insider that Charlton are possibly preparing a bid or to bring in Anderson either in January or the next season. I mean, if Tom Anderson goes to Charlton, then
Yeah, we're back to having, and no offence to the lads, I know they need to play to get better, but then we're back to having a Sardi at middle at Park with Ravenhill, and obviously they're only young kids, and to get you out of a relegation fight, you don't need kids. As Alan Hansen famously once said, you can't win anything with kids, which Man United turned around and did, but you can't stay up with a team full of kids. That is a fact.
Yeah, it's what happens now? If there's no recognizable signings in January that will be enough to hopefully have a chance of getting out of this mess, do you look at the board now and think, with all due respect, maybe you need to hand over football duties to someone else?
It just shows we've been lied to again. How many times it's happening over these last few years? The Marquis money, the Whiteman money. We've been told there's significant funds available. What do you class as significant? I mean,
If
they were quoted.
Marquis is too expensive, if Marquis is going to eat up the whole budget, then we're probably looking at a few hundred thousand.
That's what I was just going to say. The quotes about Marquis and Downing, it don't fill you with too much confidence, but a lot of questions need to be asked. I've seen a few tweets as well about it. Graham Younger.
Yeah.
What and I know you were at the meet the owners. I think he should have been on the top table. I think because a lot of the questions were actually aimed at him, and he couldn't quite. I know there were rumours that Wellens wanted his own signings, and which I probably agree with. A lot of signings that were made, Roshan Williams, Dan Gardner, I think were probably Wellens' signings, but I think he should have been on that top table explaining what plans they've got going forward. I'm not saying they needed to tell us who we're going to sign, so on and so forth, but I think a lot of people are going to start blaming him as well.
Yeah, and maybe, some people might actually look back now and think, well, look what Adam Henschel's doing.
Yeah.
Are we looking at him?
I mean, it'd be interesting to see if we use that connection and get, maybe there's somebody at Aston Villa who can replace Kuka. I can't pronounce his name, but Chuck Mwenma or something like that. There's two of them, two brothers at Aston Villa. I think one of them's called Caleb, one of them's called Carney, quite highly rated. Hopefully we can say, look, we've got good links. Can you send us a couple of players? There's that. I think it's Jordan Archer, and I know he's appearing off the bench for Villa, so it's probably a bit out of sight, but we need to do something quick. I mean, first thing I'll be doing now, Kuka, see you later, back to Watford. I don't think we'll see him in a Rovers shirt again, to be fair, after today.
Yeah.
But it will be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, isn't it? It's one of those where you sort of don't know where we're going. We don't know what the direction is, and if we go down to League Two, I mean, what happens next season? Does Gary McSheffrey stay on, or?
I mean, it's like what I said other night to you. With then, if we start off League Two badly, fans are going to soon turn, because and then we're scraping barrel again. But fingers crossed it don't end up like that. But we've dropped points today when it were looking quite good at 3-0 up. I looked at league table, I thought, bloody hell, third bottom, and we're 3 points off Fleetwood. If we beat Fleetwood Saturday, we're level on points, and then we're going into that run of games. Momentum, confidence, new signings, but he's got a big task on his hands now to pick them players up after that, because I can't imagine what it's like in that dressing room on that coach home. It must be tough after that, demoralising, to be fair, for a few of them. I mean, I think Lewis Jones got quite a lot of flack that were unwarranted. I don't think he... I saw... I can't remember who put it now, but somebody tweeted who were at the game saying somebody ran down and gave him some abuse after one of the goals. I thought that's a bit harsh, but...
It wasn't a fault for any of the goals today. He could only do so much.
But it's what happens, isn't it? It's... Everybody looks for a scapegoat. I can remember years ago, it always used to be Mark Wilson, Lewis Guy. Everybody wants a scapegoat, and there's always one player who ends up being it. So
yeah, he's like our Paul Pogba.
yeah, everybody seems to love or hate him.
Yeah, but I mean, what do you think is going to happen now? I mean, like I said, we've got Fleetwood now, and then after that, up until the 22nd of February, when we face Accrington. So between that 15th and the 22nd of February, we've got the top 8, including plus Ipswich.
Yeah, it's we need a lot of snookers, I think, if I'm honest. But Time will tell. Like I say, I hope they can prove us wrong, but
I think I need to start bringing some. I think I need to start bringing some Budweiser into the stadium every week now.
yeah, definitely bring me some as well. Because in fact, I think we need something stronger. I don't think Budweiser's quite strong enough.
I'm just going to open a temporary Jaeger bomb bar somewhere.
Yeah. Hey, you'll make a fortune. You'll make a fortune.
I might spend that money on a transfer.
Yeah, true. It'd help.
But it's just, you just don't know what's going to happen now. We just don't. I think we're in this point now where I think 12 months ago under Darren Moore, we were sort of cautious, but we sort of were still getting the results. So we were still in a good position. But now we're just, where do we go now?
I mean, I've seen tweets from opposing fans. We're like the laughing stock of the league, of the EFL, in fact, after today. Like,
we've got the worst away record in the 7 top tiers of English football.
And that's what I mean. It's leaking into non-league now, and yeah, it's. I mean, even Dover, or I think they're still minus points in conference, but they've still got a better record than what we have. You know what I mean? It's.
God. Dover,
you've got to laugh or else you'll cry. That's where you've got to look at it.
Yeah, and for me, even if we have a good window in January, do you think we're down now?
Yeah, I think that result says it all. Like the players at full time, I just think that's it. There's, as you can see, there weren't much fight, determination, anything in that second half, and it's like they've just sort of accepted it. Again, I don't know what
we need. That's not what we need. I don't care if the dude's on a 2-year contract. Nothing against the guy personally, but if it was up to me, when we get back into Doncaster from Morecambe on the coach, I'd stop to do on his way out from the coach, and I'd say, "Here's your last paycheck. We're paying you off. Go off to another club."
It's he's got a lot of work out to do. I think. I mean, I don't know if they brought Dodo in, and it's got like a relegation release clause in his contract, maybe at end of season. What happened with Tyson?
I'll tell you what, it would be embarrassing of some of these players if we went down and then they had a release clause if we get relegated and they go off to a different club and leave us to clear up their mess. It would just signal what's happening.
I mean, I'd rather that happen. I think the club from top to bottom needs a full spring clean, a reset, like literally. And again, I know it's easier said than done, but a lot more people are noticing it, but it's causing a lot of friction as well because certain people have certain views and amount of arguments we're seeing on social media, and it's
even 18 Dapper's saying he's done.
Yeah, I said that earlier, and when people like that are saying it, it's that not that just you see a lot of like I'm 27, but I can't really remember the Richardson era. I was too young, but then people who've lived through that are now saying it's getting to that sort of stage. It's getting bad. You know what I mean? And when people like that fans who have been coming years. I mean, I've been going years, but I mean, who can remember them times? And when they're saying they're done and that's it, it's serious stuff, sort of thing.
Yeah, I've spoken to fans previously at home games, and when they've said it's worse than the Richardson era, and we've got a worse squad than that era, and it feels just as bad, if not worse, than that era in terms of ownership, then something's got to be done. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, I know we all say Baldwin out, so and so out, this and that, but like people say, if they do just leave, what then? Like, who's really? Nobody really wants to buy a football club because they lose money.
Is the Michael Murray talks even genuine?
Yeah, that's another thing. It could be paper talk. It could be him just trying to put his name out there because of what's happened with Sports Direct, and who knows. But,
I'll probably try and get in touch with some people, see if I can find out any more about the Michael Murray talks at the moment. Because surely,
it'll be interesting to find out.
Yeah, Kieran, thank you very, very much for coming on the show.
Worries, enjoying it. Cheers.
Have a safe evening.
Yep, no worries. Have a good night.
Thank you. Great to see Kieran on the show, obviously. Don't know how Lim Home can give ratings today, Stuart. Sorry, I'm going way back up the comments here. Get me in striker, I'll show you how to score. What the hell happened? You can't be losing after that, after being 3-0 up. Such a young squad, you need way more experience. Charlie, please use the StreamYard link and get in the chat because I seriously want you to get your thoughts. In fact, I'll send you it privately, mate. I'll send you it privately. In fact, I'll probably put it on the EFL show private chat as well. I am live. Banter me all you want. I deserve it. And I even spelt deserved wrong. Jesus Christ. There we go. Silent Whispers, all fans buy the club and just take over. Try to get a few fans together and do a fan-owned thing, and people like Jeremy Clarkson, Lewis Thomason will put some money in. Easier said than done, mate. A 1 is a bit generous. Yeah. Seen Tom Anderson earlier, had a boot round his leg, doesn't look good. Yeah, it didn't look good from the sounds of it, and it looks like it's going to be longer than January, possibly. Worst case scenario could be the rest of the season. Best case scenario, hopefully it's just a month or two. No one wants a relegation battle unless your name is Darren Moore. Can't even banter Sheffield Wednesday fans anymore. They'll probably put 3 or 4 past us if we're not careful. McSheffrey thrown into the cage with Sharks. We haven't got all the Marquise and Whitman money yet, though. They're paid in installments. Yeah, and that's true. But to be fair, on the flip side of that, some of the money went in stabilising the club. That's helped clear the debt, so that's good. But apparently one of the players' monies in installments actually helped to put towards youth funds, but there's been no change to cap the part that I could see. So that's something you've got to challenge on. Richie did us in by binning of Omar. That's the one thing I've sort of looked back at Richie Wellens' era and sort of thought, don't really agree with that. Because Omar Bogle, for my opinion, should have been playing. Saw the team in their bus at the Holiday Inn in Morecambe. I'm staying here and it's scruffy as out. Great team care, boys. Jesus Christ. I'm absolutely stunned. What on earth happened? We collapsed. That's what happened. Chukwuemeze. I don't know who that is. Chukwuemeka. That's who you meant. On loan from Aston Villa would be an all right signing. Doncaster happened. That's what happened. Problem you got now is that anyone that comes in will want a relegation release or bonus for keeping you up, and that'll mean more money. Yeah. Cameron Archer, again, someone I would personally want. We're effing S, does my head in every week. Said it from the start. That why people are just realizing the scouting team needs sacking. I get that. I get that. Up the Millers. Yeah, Robin fans are loving this. But a 181 today. How's the Turkish Wonder Kid to tell you? Yeah, you told me, and I didn't listen. He's a nice guy, but just, in my opinion, at this point in time, not good enough. This side gets absolutely terrorising League 2, completely different battle, that league. Absolutely. As a Miller today was a pure comedy. Yeah, well done. Nope, not that. Fair play. It was my mate who had Jones the abuse he deserved. Well, that's your choice. That's their choice. This might give Donny a kick up the backside and he survives. Stranger things have happened. That's true. Yeah, someone ran down to the goal and abused Jones. Most of the fans told him to shut up and that. He got kicked out in the end. Yeah, for me, it was probably right. No offense, but did you even watch the game? Jones had been one of our best players this season and shining like the dark tunnel without an end. Exactly. If you think Jones is bad, do it yourself. It's harder than what it looks. Exactly. Obviously, don't know anything about football. If you think Jones is at fault today, exactly. How many points Donny on now? We had 22 points this time last season, and we finished bottom of League One. How many points are we on? So you were on 22 at this point, and you finished bottom. We're on 16. We're on 16, 23 games into the season. So guess where we're ending. Yes, watched every minute. When we came out for the second half, I said we'd lose. We set up terribly and deserved to lose after that. Showing how we set up in the second half was shocking. We can't disagree with that. This lot don't have a care in the world. It's what happens when you build a team full of other clubs unwanted players, bunch of whatever, every one of them, no fight whatsoever. What I said should have done with Dudu is a 6-month contract with an optional 6 months more. Yeah, I'd agree with that. This guy's talking the truth. Michael Murray was never genuine. Yeah, it definitely seems like that. Beyond a few minutes, give me 5 minutes. No worries, mate. Millers. What a shambolic second half. Our setup from the first half was no different apart from personnel. They just came out and gave it everything because they had nothing to lose. Too many injuries. Yeah, we say that for a few weeks. Turns out it's for identity. Like Taylor has always been out a year. It's been out for almost a year. Still time, barely. went from attacking to sitting back. We had no shots in the second half or any attacking threat. How can you say we didn't set up different? You have to see that. Baldwin lies to everyone, 100 plus applicants for the job, really. I have experience in Football Manager, kept me in. We're the League One whipping boys. It wasn't that we sat back, it was that they came out and gave it everything and boxed us on our own half. Second half was always going to be backs to the wall. Did you hear that Lowton got hit by a bottle at Leeds? No. Dadu is do and Dadu is doo. Hello, Rovers Bible. Shout out to Rovers Bible, of course. But no, it's just honestly, I don't know what's happening. I really don't know what's happening. We do have one more caller, which is going to be One Rovers Vlogs, hopefully in a minute. Just a quick one to get his thoughts, but then we'll end it there. What do you think of the first half, Chal? First half was amazing. Second half was shocking. How's the Football Manager save going? Pretty good. We are the League One version of Norwich and Newcastle. We're worse than Norwich and Newcastle, mate. We are worse than that. We're worse than that, mate. Yeah, I'd say we're probably worse than that. Of course, we sat back. We had no threat in the second half, no going forward. Open your eyes and admit the change at halftime didn't work. We went back to old Donny. We shouldn't accept this nonsense. No one managed to put their foot in the ball and try to play football in the second half. They all popped their pants second half. Bunch of absolute shirt lifters. I think it's a different season this season, though, Charlie. A lot more teams down there, and we'll go all the way to the wire. Well, it was 3-2 and we played Newcastle. Exactly. I think that's one thing to say there. But yeah, One Rovers Vlog should be on his way. We'll put the StreamYard link in the chat again, just in case he doesn't see it. But we do have it. I did send it to him privately in the chat. But there we go. I mean, I need to hopefully try and find the Gary McSheffrey interview at some point as well. I'm putting a punt on Doncaster to survive. You ain't getting your money back from the sounds of it, and how quick we're going to get relegated. You ain't going to get your money back on that one. I can guarantee you with that. But yeah, let's have a look at Twitter reaction while we're waiting for One Rovers Vlogs to get on. I would love to know the justification of keeping Dadu and Chakar in the squad. They offer nothing up front. Dadu totally anonymous, and Chakar, the less they said, the better. Get rid of them both. There's a song from someone. I'll have a listen to that at some point. Charlie is here. Charlie, I mean, 22 points, and you guys finished bottom of the league. We're on 16 points with one more game played than you guys at this stage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're all going on a League Two tour, aren't we?
It's just crazy. Like, even like, because like for me, I'm not even going to banter you because I know the situation, and how it feels to be bottom of the league, and but it's just everything from even in the summer, like obviously you had Wellings, which like for me as an outsider, I don't know what it was for like for you Donny fans, because obviously Wellings played for you, but I thought it was the wrong appointment anyway, and plus most of the signings I thought were pretty good, like Noyle, and Ben Close, but there was just nowhere near enough experience for that team. I think that's what you're lacking big time. I think because you have got some good young players, but it's like I thought that's what has let you down really, is the not enough experience. And some of the players, I get that you've had injuries, but obviously everyone's had like pretty bad injuries, but you have had a lot of injuries as well. But
we can't have an excuse.
It's just I can't believe it. Like I said, I'm not even going to banter you fans.
We can't have an excuse with injuries, because Bolton had like more players out than us. They still battered us 3-0.
Yeah, it's just I think that's what it is. It's just there's not nowhere near enough because even your team against Sunderland, like it was just pretty much just young players. There was hardly any experience, and what can you do, you know? And it's like today. I know obviously I bantered you on Twitter, but you know that's just banter. But you know, being like positive and or saying it like as it is, it's just like. I don't even know what to say. Like, how can you go 3-0 up? Because I seen you, I was like, bloody hell, like, what's going on here? Like, Donny are doing really well, scored 3 goals, looked good. And then I checked the next minute and it's like, I don't know what to say. Like, I feel sorry for the fans that, you know, obviously were at the game as well. Because I'd be asking for bloody my money back because it's a disgrace, really. Like, and obviously, you know, like you said, there was fans getting angry for your keeper Jones as well, and it's just like everything. It's just, and it's obviously, you know, you can't blame people for getting angry and obviously it turning toxic because that's what is that was the only lucky thing for us last season. I say lucky because obviously, but there was no fans. So it wasn't as toxic, like if it would have been like you know we've had it before where we've been relegated out the football league and that was proper toxic. But yes, when it doesn't help, you know. And yeah, I don't know. And like I said, like this time last season, like we had 6 more points than you do have now, and you've got obviously Fleetwood, which is a huge game, but then this was a huge game, and you had to win today, and you have to beat Fleetwood, and then you've got quite a tough run, aren't you?
We've got teams in the top 8, including the top 4 in the next 8 games, plus Ipswich.
Yeah, it's just it doesn't get any easier.
We could be relegated by mid-March.
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier, and like you say, even that other was it Kieran that was just on with you then, like when you was talking about signings and stuff like that. It's going to be so hard with, you know, like you said, they're going to have to. Players are going to be asking for like clauses if they stay you up, and then it's just going to be more stuff, and it's hard enough. Like it was really bad for us last season. We didn't even sign anyone in January. We was after Stockley. We didn't have a second choice. He didn't come, and it's going to be even worse now because I think if you would have won today, because you'd have been where would you have been? Like third from bottom if you won today.
I think we'd have been second from bottom and only 2 or 3 points out of away from safety.
Yeah, because I think like it would have just been massive. Like, but I just don't get like because obviously you didn't go. Did you like listen to it or watch it on a different stream?
I watched it from home. But I'll be in that stadium on Saturday against Fleetwood, and if we don't get a good result, I'm gonna be fuming.
Yeah, because you're at home, aren't you, Saturday?
Yeah, and you know, finally, Charlie. I mean, you know, we were talking earlier about, you know, if fans are going to start protesting soon. I sort of showed Kieran the picture while we're on stream of the support the team, not the regime banner in the stadium today. Fans have had enough. Do you think it's seriously going to turn?
Yeah, it can easily because there's so many decisions and with everything like that's happened, even like from the past few years, you know, I think it obviously all went bad when there was a clause in like even just putting clause in like not a lot of clubs do it like where I think Moore had a clause in his contract and even things like that just and even like the basic things where it took you so long to get a permanent appointment and you still appointed the same guy that you had already for like a month. It's just stuff like that and I'm not surprised. Like if that's what needs to happen, it needs to happen if fans are gonna, you know, do whatever to get get answers. You know, it's just terrible. You know, it's no good putting it a plaster over it. Like everything that's gone on for and even before that, it's just it's no good for anyone. You know, any fan of any club, let alone the club you support and you watch and you want to talk about, and it's just terrible, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, 100%. Charlie, thank you very, very much, and I'll see you on the EFL show tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah. See you in a bit.
Quickly, just before we go, Q Lucas, you're a Doncaster Rovers fan. Just quickly before we head off, so I've only got a couple.
Oh yeah, hello.
Hiya. So we've only got a couple of minutes left. Just quickly, what did you think of that today?
For me, it's just a major lack of experience. You know, we've got a very young squad, and you know, as soon, to be honest, as soon as we came out for the second half, we started slow, really slow, and that cost us today.
Yeah, 100%. And just lastly, then, do we think we're going to do some good business in January, or are you not confident at all?
I mean, I'd rather have optimism than be obviously pessimistic about everything, but it's finding that line between blind optimism and, I think we're going to do an element of business, whether it's good business, good business or not. I think we're going to do something, but I'm not sure, obviously, what it's going to be yet.
Yeah, 100%. Q Lucas, sorry I couldn't get you on for longer, but thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
There we are. So I'll just quickly go through the comments just before I go, because I did miss a couple of them. League 2 on tour. January Hughes need at least 3-4 new signings. Centre-back midfielder, striker, another striker who play wide. 2 will be loans and another 2-3 experience and know-how. I can confirm on after Charlie it's possible. I am going to be ending this stream, I'm afraid, Max. You're going to get relegated by February? Maybe. Scott Twine is the best player in the league? Maybe, yeah. There's always Rotherham down the road. No chance. You stick to Rotherham, I'll stick to my club. Massive issue in that game. Oh, yes, my birthday present from Rovers, a League 2 tour. You going to the Rotherham game? Absolutely. We're going to stick it up to those Rotherham fans. If we won, we would have been 22nd. Exactly. Save some money, move from the keeper and play at Cantley instead. Nah, no chance. What's happened to do players off the part this season for Wigan now is crap. I don't know. Please quit the board unless we're going back to Weaver Times conference. Here we come. When you go next live, Chal? I'm not too sure, to be honest. Probably after, probably some point either next end of this week or next week. Maybe the day after Fleetwood, just to get people's opinions. But if I'm not working that day, obviously. But there we go. That's going to be it, guys, for this video. Make sure you do like, comment, subscribe. I will be ready for the match review later this evening. And for now, my name is Aaron Chandler from Forever Football DRC. Keep living the Rovers life, and that, my friends, full-time Riverside die. Thank you very, very much. An absolutely embarrassing performance, and some of those players need to seriously get out. Rovers till I die! Rovers till I die!